So bored. I love this library because there's no electricity in my apartment. You can get me money for food today. In person if I trust you. Through PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky Designs Code because it puts no straight to my heart. Ali Lorenzo Art Shop INTAYIAFAY. I'm Tarsha. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com /f/Lorenzo. I plan to browse through some books or magazines today and mention in a few of them. As pandemic COVID-19 favored awesomeness, historic records. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm very resilient even in adversity. And I just come to threads or to what is it? People trying to get me to illegally prostitute myself. So these people are mostly people related to me that are so gross that are illegal prostitutes themselves. So they steal my money. They stay in my homes without my permission. They're worse than hillbillies. They steal my vehicles. They get in the way of me receiving money, trying to rape me, trying to get fame to me. There's only one outlet on the floor that works. Charging my phone at a different table. Why am I not sitting there? There's their hair. So I didn't want to sit there because I plan to eat too. I'm not like there being a hair on the table. So I left my phone charger in there. Bored. I'm bored. I miss Jaden. I miss good morning. I miss Jaden. I miss good morning. I didn't give up Jaden. I didn't give up Ping on you. Hopefully, I won't have to testify about this in court. I'm using these live videos and tagging the FBI and the International Criminal Court, hoping that this will count as my testimony in court because it's live. I'm seeking the death penalty for Michael Norman or heaven is that raped me in 2016. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez's sons that raped me, steal my money, and get in the way of me receiving money. So it could have been a coincidence that there was a lookalike the other day on Broadway while I was live on social media. Or it could have been someone, not necessarily their dad, trying to hold off people from killing him, them, in self defense for me because a lot of people have immunity to kill them in self defense for me. There could be the other, what is it? Viewpoint of I'm not dangerous, I'm not actively seeking him. He has pictures that he's a bibliothèque, so was I before I even mentioned him. I wasn't looking for him there. Most likely he's so stalkerish that one of them could show up to where I'm at without me knowing prior about it, but I'm never seeking him. He's considered dangerous for that reason. What else? 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 Oh, and from the perspective of like she's still a good mom, she's not hurting her kids. That's also why there was possibly a lookalike on Broadway that day. That I'm like, I want to call someone out and take her. But it's specifically the people that steal from me and get in the way of me receiving money and staying in my homes without my permission and steal my vehicles. I also killed my mother. That I would want to do that too, but I'm not actively seeking those people either because I want it to be on my timing, not like, oh, look at me kill life in self defense. What else? What else? What else? What else? So one of them may have shown up that day. Could have been a coincidence to just show that I'm not actively seeking the people that steal from me, stay, okay, I mean, get in the way of me receiving money, stay in my homes without my permission, steal my vehicles to kill those people. That if I had Jaden Kilani, I could have been like dining with Jaden Kilani that day. That's hilarious. There's different ways to kill those nastiness in self defense. They accept invitations. They're sex addicts trying to rape one and they want to hold one. An outing with one as as the badge of honor. That's why I don't show up privately to talk about any of the outings or invites that they had to my home because they weren't true invites. So because I have issues with my esophagus, in one occasion, like I cooked a dish separate from what I served to them. I could have just poisoned them that night. What else? What else? What else? What else? Like I could, they were my vehicle. I could have thrown them out of my vehicle through I-10 or 410 or 1604 so easily, or through I-35. One shows them kindness and they still don't get it. It's like I'm very kind of the person is not to get to know me, but now that you're in my space, I'm very very generous. Here's a gift card just because, and they still continue the pattern of stealing from one and thinking that one is weak because one is gifting to them. They're dumb as fuck. But they're people that I didn't attract into my life. So people say like one suffers from amnesia, but one is like this dumb hoe somehow needs manners training. I don't remember her specifically. So I don't have any shame or regret on having given them gift cards just because specifically to Berenice, Sarah, and Kaitlyn. Because they lack manners even after that. So, pero in court, that looks so good for me because it's like, oh, you try to teach them manners and they still don't listen. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll get the death penalty as I'm requesting today and previously already. Because it's funner to let them out and about, scared that I'll kill them in self defense. And it's a lot of paperwork, I've heard, and a lot of self care for the general population after killing so many people through the what is it? The Department of Justice. However, people nickname me that. That's self care. She's fine. So if she's fine, we can be okay. With those people that steal from her and her and her kids being killed. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. I want to shop H&M today, and I want to cook for myself later. Grilled cheese sandwich. I bought a salad. I brought pita chips. I brought dark chocolate caramels that I had in my apartment. I have two bags, so I brought one. I brought some breadsticks that I'll eat later. I'm getting coffee at Royal Blue Grocery. I don't have like $11 for food. So I'll do that later. In the meantime, right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and send my GoFundMe campaign to people through Instagram. I miss dating and miss Kenani. I have no intention of wasting my time with those leeches that I grew up around and talking to them. They steal my money trying to make me look like I'm lazy, uneducated, and without goals. And I'm very dedicated to myself. Dating Kehlani, I don't need to prove that to anyone, but it just shows. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Lo que se ve no se pregunta. A lot of people say too. What else? 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 Bored. I'm bored. One person's watching, zero like this post. I can post on Facebook again. So I posted that my mother died according to that leech Beatriz Nieves Vargas. Ew. I tagged the FBI because I'm seeking the death penalty for Benjamin Suarez's sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. Because I reject them during sex, they created a storyline around me that I'm Latina poor and they steal my money and they get in the way of me receiving money. That is why Lunarisa died in so bad shape because my sisters no vale nada for. So they're like to not lose Andres' penis if that's his name and to not lose Alex's penis. They kill. They're so disgusting. Son tan poquita cosa. Yeah. So they're trying to kill me just because I'm attracted to said penises. But I don't ever pursue it because that's not a man, so that's not worth being pursued. It's just very attracted and it's attractive and what else? What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. So I posted several times on Facebook already. I posted earlier from my bedroom because my phone was charged. Like yesterday was a really good day where I charged my phone entirely at the library, and then excuse me, also plugged it in. I think at Royal Blue Grocery. So when I got to my apartment, I had like a ton of charge on my phone. So this morning I was able to wake up to a phone that had battery on it that was charged. And I already posted on YouTube Live from my bed, which I hadn't done in a while. What else? What else? What else? Currently listening to that Vistia on the Valeria Radio Pandora station. I like Pandora. What else? I used to hit a nerve when I was with the German couple. I would skip through all the songs, but now I know why. Es like maldito sea vacilos. Es lo que me recuerda es a mi primo segundo que me vio el oído. Y esa no es la razón por la que esta canción fue escrita. What else? What else? What else? So then when I moved on my own and I had Jaden and Kaylani with me, it was much more tolerable to listen to said music and not feel like I'm missing something. I texted Jaden Kaylani early this morning. I posted that picture that I took a screenshot yesterday of a flower. I was gonna bring it with me to enjoy a post that we will do tomorrow as a time. However, I had these would have been so good. I didn't think about it. I gave it way too much life, but not quite. So I used like a gallon from HEB to add water to it. I didn't fill it up because it felt heavy. But this, I may change it. I may have empty bottles like these in my apartment are about to be empty. that I can add that flour to. Possibly I'll do that tonight. So overnight it gets water, and then I'll carry my flour with me with a match today. The color of that fuchsia on the backpack that I'm holding. Two people are watching. One has like this post. What else? Reading the comments and ignoring it. I hate that. It could just be a random. It could be some train of thought, stream of consciousness. Or it could be that leech that steals my money and se lo tiene que estar cayendo el pene, masturbándose pensando en mí. People say, but not entirely, porque when he wants to behave like a man, he does. People just have to have college degrees, homes that are like 25,000 square feet big, more than one vehicle, so it doesn't look like it's just for transportation. That you're a collector of things. What else? 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 I'm excited. My phone is charging without me touching it. So that's like very good. I'm just gonna grab my scene. I aim to be one of those people that hangs out at a library for an hour watching cartoons and trying to meet people or playing a game on a computer. What? What else? How I raised 14 kids on my own. What else? What else? What about the bike crunch? I've been eyeing this for a while. What is it from? November, December 2024. And for what else? Two people are watching to like this post. This is good. I'm missing it. I'm missing it. I should add kale to pasta. Oh, with nutritional rules. Maybe good that I want someone to cook it for me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? No, I can do this. I've baked kale, I think, with nutritional yeast. Didn't I try the copycat recipe from the Trader Joe's kale dish? I like adding kale to frittata. There's a recipe that I've tried that is on the Skinny Taste website that uses kale. It's frittata. One just mixes eggs and ingredients and puts it in there, but just to get out of routine sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just cook my eggs that way. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? This is good. I don't know what it is. Pero, what else? It looks like a good advertisement. Understands. Oh, those are actually really pretty. Oh, and that price point is cute. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Or I'm Instagram is I have lotion that I haven't applied because I had electricity in my apartment. I haven't showered well or bathed well in the morning. I would already have the first signs of cancer if I were trying to kill myself. People say I've been like using the same outfit or not have hope for myself. Will not have streamed for my bedroom today while I have battery on my phone that's charged. What else? What else? What else? What else? Lord. You can decapitate it. I mean, sort of some systems that rate me as down money and get away with me receiving money. I used to buy La Revista Casa at Super Coco. I was there deciding what am I in the mood for? Food. To work there part time. Food or killing all these people. I can start with Lisa, Wanda Lorenzo, Alvin Acevedo. La Rosalinda girl. Who else? Who else? Who else do I need to kill? What's her name? La hermana de Brenda Vargas was there. Omaira Matias was there. So I'm like, food or do I kill him in substance? Porque back then I'm like, mommyhood I haven't become already is important to me. And I didn't have a relationship with Gloria, so I don't have money. So I used to buy all the Casa magazines while there. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Well, that Robert guy gets on disgusting said to me, like, you'll never look like that. There was a magazine with someone on us with a sensor. Like, maybe I should start with him. So you can decapitate all those people that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. Save my homes without my permission. His wife, they have kids. They're rape babies. So. Oh, that's why some puerca like gives me the heebie-jeebies. Oh, when he's like, my wife cooked for me, I'm like, ugh, ugh. For real. For real. You can decapitate me. I mean, sorry, for instance, that rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They steal my homes and they steal my vehicles. They're so girls. You can decapitate Juan Lorenzo. You can decapitate Mr. Sam. You can decapitate that Vigo boy. You can decapitate Alvin Acevedo. My dad thinks I'm clever. It's like she doesn't know, but she just joined them. so that she could remember their names when she seeks the death penalty for them. What else? What else? What else? What else? So they've been possibly in group chats for years now, trying to talk to me about my kids. There's nothing that they can say to me that will change my mind. I'm gonna stick my hand. I even invited them to my wedding with Edgar because I was so poor. I'm gonna stick my hands in their neck and take their order out and kill all those leeches in self-defense. And I still have so much life left. Two people watching, four have liked this place. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Speaking of my kiddos, they're so amazing. What else? What else? What else? What? I was on Facebook earlier. What? My primos used to notify their local PIA. They used to send evidence to reporters, to people while being abused. And some reporters do the right thing and they forward a copy to the police or the original. Sometimes they forward a copy. Or if you need a visual, mi amor, your family is waiting you with open arms. No, $50 eso no da para nada. Que se cree que yo soy Barbie Latina because I reject her and don't want to have sex with her ever. So ella se cree que con $50 I'm gonna use that for condoms, possibly lingerie, and legally prostitute myself. So that she can see, mamita, yo soy mejor que el your mother. Es una cuero asquerosa, se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, me roba mi dinero, her kids are rape babies, esa de nieve varia una asquerosidad, una puerta. Anyways, there's no such thing as my amor. Estas lichas me quieren violar, son un asco. They're meant to be my sisters, and so un asco, una asquerosidad. This leech is so disgusting. They killed Gloria Mirza to be the prettiest. Y para quedarse con el premio. The Andrew Alexander, whatever the movie was called. They think that that's the badge of honor. They're like, I want that kills her. Very low level intelligence. Ew, they're so gross. Nunca maduraron como hombre. Even if they did, I don't need to go on to find out. I think on fueron que no se basura. You can decapitate the honey, sometimes the story that reads them and the name and the way we see your mother. You can decapitate the leaves, so I'm going to tell you my mother. She steals my money, that's not the way we receive money, stays in my home, all my commercial stays in my business. You can decapitate at least me, I think that's something to keep us on. You can decapitate a nivel, lo que se ve loco como me quiere violar. Once to see me suffering, knowing that I'm not having sex, he thinks que mi tonto de ella. Tipo una puerca, I almost threw up today. You can decapitate los abrazotos de la basura que mató lo que quiso hacer el reportero, trying to keep inheritance. De un lasco, you can decapitate Margarita Correa, que es una puerca asquerosa. You can decapitate Ana Luz Carrero, que es una puerca asquerosa. You can decapitate Yesenia Ramírez Lorenzo, que es Gloria Mirza, va a decir mi hermano queriendo ver presidente, para ver cuánto Gloria Mirza me deja. So Gloria Mirza said to me decades ago that she might not leave me anything at all, porque mira que leeches tratando steal from me. Yeah. Or she will go ahead and have it to where I receive my inheritance like a few years after she dies. So that it's not that obvious that I've received the money. That's up to her. I don't need to be mad. It was her money to give, anyways. I'm never up to inheritance, anyways. You can decapitate Mayra Alejandra Villarrubia. You can decapitate Deborah Bailey, Quemador, Gloria Nilsson, trying to give Brandon and Raymond more money. Brandon and Ray Bailey. Yeah. You can decapitate Deborah Bailey. You can decapitate Deborah Bailey. You can decapitate David Ledesma that killed Gloria Nilsson, raped me in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. El tipo es un barrendero sin escoba asqueroso. Me roba mi dinero, se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso. I wasn't ever inviting him into my home. Me roba mi vehículo, gets in the way of me receiving money. He's trying to kidnap me. Because I'm a very decent, good woman. So el tipo es un puerco trying to force me into marrying him. Qué asco. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else did I post today? I have fees that I need to pay. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And this email that I received last night from Random, because that's all he is, Random. To me, that's not all the money that he possibly has from me. So he may be trying to trick me into talking to someone that I don't want to talk to, a leech that wants to rape me. So he wants to provide the service regardless of La Leech talking to me and feeling important. That's a 0-year-old with a phone, is what people say. Ni los nenes chiquitos ni las nenas chiquitas se portan así tan mal. Full. Ew, son una basura. So whenever I'm financially stable, I'll sue them and then I'll get my money from them. It could be less. Pero I don't need to talk to a fake email account or without his actual name there and accept any money from anyone. What else? 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 Anyways, I look forward to more days like this. Gonna shop at HEB later and Central Market and Royal Blue Grocery. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I posted this. Some cuerdas fuck. Okay, go from one conversation still. With the right topic, they were trying to get me to get Alzheimer para violarme. They were trying to bully me and beat me up emotionally so badly through all the leeches. Trying to get me to have Alzheimer, que no me recuerden ni mi nombre, to rape me. They're gross. Very gross. This is why I post on social media every day. I choose to be secluded. I'm not isolated by choice. Anyways, Gina Yandaliri dice que yo no necesito dinero porque ella me roba mi dinero, una puerca. Una asquerosidad. How am I going to pay for my electricity bill? You can decapitate Ginny Gendalides Dendi Lorenzo. Sorry, that's worse than a turd on a chair. It's like, do I just throw out the chair with it on it? Do I pay someone to get the turd out of the chair if the chair won't be affected? Esa tipa es una licha, una basura. Creó una cuenta de Facebook para burlarse que de mí. Porque ella los viola y ellos se dejan violar. Son tan puercos. Ew. Earlier. I was recreating. I made this episode. Yeah, I made a bacon crumbs, mushrooms, green peppers, ideally, olives. The pepperoni seems fine. I may cook those for Jada and Kehlani. This is so good. Oh, these are so good. What is this? Good housekeeping. Oh, I want to take a picture of this. I'll post it on Facebook. Page 9. Charging my phone again. Anyways, you can think up to everyone that's also anxiety by depression, my poverty, and agitating can really be separated from me. Yes, it was a sign my YouTube. President, are you in things I can take away your feet and the things that the silly developer and he tries to read me because I'm blue. He's like, oh, pinagpito nung naninitan sa kanya ng braso. Dio la amata porque my sister y que matan por el amor de ellos que gente. Esas nenas son tan brutas, no se quieren. Son una bruta basura, always looking for the next thing. So they're trying to kill them y ellos se van a no, there's never supposed to be more. I did mine. I'm gonna put my phone on the first pizza line. And then I had it. What? Oh, I want the pepperoni pizza. Man. Yeah, I want the salad. I just hope that no. And the panel so yeah. What is that? What pan? Or my mother sometimes. Or just say juice boy. I can't get it there. And Masha usual. Is the rest of the bunch. trying to answer this kind of yeah, just I think it's me. 1995. Very long. And that's a personal situation. Some parents are like me, like there's no way that my kid would have enjoyed it. I don't know. My dancing to the very soon. That's so good. I think this is so but what is it? Let me see. And here's this from my computer is you can like music like the or listen to lyrics instrument. It's like whatever you're ready for. Like people say like reading literacy, sometimes like brushing their teeth. But during the morning, during the daytime, during nighttime, if you're not to them, they most likely don't have the concentration to read. They could be hungry. So you have to make sure that you're providing enough snacks in between meals so that they're in the mood to be reading. It can be a concentration. And then like, they grab a video game on top of it anyway. And they're showing you the same pattern, the same vision. Like, I can't even complete this video game either. That's cute. Oh, that's cute. Butter yogurt. So what's today? Oh, Jaden's birthday is soon on Sunday. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. Everyone that stays in my home without my permission. Everyone that steals my clothes. Everyone that is nowhere near somebody. You can decapitate this next person. You just steal my money. I don't know where I'm stealing. I think her name Oliver Leash. Alex. Yeah. Football is wonder what they did. So they stole my money and they left my parents. So I they're extremely dangerous. So those are very important. I've been going through this have any classes so it's not obvious. Now, do people come for names? And they're like, her subconscious threatened me, but it wasn't a. I'm like, thank you. What if she's like a nice person? It's like, I'm gonna the paper towels in the back, but they're gonna get wet. Do you wanna hold them? Like, no, it's warm in the best swing. Thank you, have a good day. But then my body's like, but if you steal it from me, it's gonna kill you. What else? What else? And I feel bad for a lot of people out there that he may have profiled to work at HEB with the promise that I'm gonna feel attracted to them and have sex with them. Because they try to force me to have sex with people that I don't want to have sex with. That I want to find attractive. And then once a month, that I spend my entire day with other people. And not with people that I would enjoy being with. Ya que yo como más general estudiar in the house, I would overeat and this month. Like, I guess I know for them. They go through with them, they conditioners. They're so great. They're disgusting. They're doctrinatic. And me, out of a lot, we're going to go with this. Everyone steals my money. Feels stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicle, gets in the way of me receiving money, and they're supposed to be relatives. For the most part, I live with my family. Fortune is a beach. So they're all the bases that Edgar were would be at is so funny. Did he laugh? Like, what bases did I ask for? Every time that he was about to get orders. Like, why not this one? Why not this one? Why not the other one? So I just saw him. What am I? It was McDill, like, when I became killer, so I was at McDill because I like location. But now it's his first choice of I didn't think about it. Yeah, maybe it's like, what else? What else? What else? What else? They went on to read people, to find people that would be around at those spaces or places of work, co-worker job that I miss meeting. I would literally like walk in there like I have a stalker. I can't remember who it is, both female and male. So I'm like, this give me like I would literally like guess the size, try them on, return them. So sad. Or just walk in there, try like one sweater, and then grab it in like five different colors. Like that's my routine outfit. And the such, and I don't want to work them. The restaurants that were there from like a beach and they didn't make me out when working. That's the whole part of the experience for me. So I'm like, I don't want to work just to leave me off and it's really yeah. What else? What else? What else? So they went on to find out or infiltrate people in those places, people that they introduced to me prior as people that are trying to rape me or anyone to rape me. So they basically pushed me in the places where I can feel comfortable. Even the county and some of the that I can't do money and quit. And 30 years, it feels like money. This life right now. I purposely didn't go on to be in. They were possibly waiting for me through group chats when my still didn't see me there. And they would be like, well, you're señorita, cambrecita, cabelota, campeonata. Everyone that you brought into your homes without your permission. I don't live my life to find out what he does with many things. Parece estar aquí, parece estar aquí, no afford. Parece estar la policía. My siblings want me to just kill everyone in self-defense and get it out. They've already killed so many people on 9/11. They terrorized me, steal my money, saying my phone without my permission. I'm much younger. And I was much more shorter for a while. So it was scary. And my mother is, if she's alive or was weak, she was an orphan. So my siblings take advantage of that and they were to kill lots of people on 9/11, 2001. They just killed a lot of people through this COVID-19 season that already killed many people. They commit genocide. There's girls in one position of the best. They don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. So they kill people to position themselves as the best. What else? What else? What else? I don't think you can get me money for in-person pictures here through PayPal. It's our blue sky, blue sky designs. From go straight to my heart. I mean, when I was and I hope that we can be is What's my number this morning? That's our prayer. And the sellers of life eternally it's like money to find them. The inconvenience of me right now is possibly my private room without hair. There's the rooms. There's the girls. Yeah. You can look up the room is on the sun's everything. That's the money in the way you say money. I don't need anyone to tell me, oh, here's how you mostly that are rapists, murderers, thieves that linger around with I'm here for you. Trying to find out how much more reports to the police. Trying to brag about how they steal from one they're so gross. Talking about people it could be family or just an acquaintance. Yeah. Within the conversation, who makes fun of that rapist or money and members. They look for women with experience. You're ready. What is that? Paranormal person. Not someone that will have an normal person. Did you know that a lady has an older bedroom? No one living with Andrew. She has comments. Wow, pobre Andrew's gonna feel less than. People don't know, so I don't even know if that's the right one. No. I was telling them if I'm looking real people. Doing better. No, it's not right about it. I have it on Facebook. I'm hungry. Or my email. You can look up between how many people sorry. I think their names are Andrew, Alex, Amber, Manish, Mabasuna, Persa, Kakeroso, the Puritan. I never think about their half brother. Que también es un puerco. That gets ago he raped me and then he showed me pictures of people that he raped or had raped him. Well, that could be me. And the beach is me. Or kind of another. Like, I don't want to get raped or insignificant. No son ni hombres, son una basura. Ferocidad. What else? 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 The only thing that I'm going to kill myself because nothing is like place provides for next payments and I can't even afford it. Yung mahal ko yung pamilyang Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Ang mas ko, yo pensé en mi vida. Ya. Satisfies of food, rankings, and money, getting good. Let's say Booker. That's the only one I remember. He goes, I don't remember about that time I will stop seeking the different animals. Or that I would take down my book and read them back. So that I can stop them stealing from me. Ang masko. Ew, 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 ew. You're going to probably be doing this thing at rate in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. There's a Hoffman says it's safe. Maldito sea el puerco ese. Que me roba mi dinero right now. I'm not looking for my own home. Or at the library for pleasure, no, because I feel obligated. Hay secretos de bien para tu padre, de más respeto. He needs to take them out of the environment where he met them. Yes. Yeah, there's people like that. Oh. The people call danger in vacation mode. Not tell that he should be on, he should be on. Porque en la playa se portan bien, pero they're in vacation mode. That doesn't mean that they're not killing. Yeah. I know that he's not even attracted to me, so that's why I don't have sex with him. For real. So he's looking for us to be away from where he met me and try to find like the sun. Clouds and flowers today. So pretty. There's a butterfly. There's a media. Ew. Oh, come on, puerco. What? These pedos have never tasted so good for me. For, for what else? What else? one person watching for lectures. So in the capacity they have no so that rate me instantly when you get go. You can put up in the ladies one. You can put on the home. So the person another t-shirt. Those they never does it with everything that I use right now. So many assumptions that they have, they're so dumb. They're like, well, no, then she must marry her baby's daddy again and start over. Start over from when I had money when I was in with him and spent it. They act like one is a 0 year old because they want to rape one, so they can't. As that projection towards them, they're so dumb and gross. Ill. So they're like, well, she must be like very dumb, like 0 years old and 0 years old don't carry money. How behind them? They're disgusting. My siblings are disgusting. Some of my parents' relatives, the majority of them are dumb, gross. Or they kill for penis and vagina. Ew. They don't know how to date. Well, appreciate anyone that they have sex with. They're leeches, extorters. so bored. Oh, I remember that last time. I don't think I'm remembering. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something. You can decapitate me. I mean, sorry, sons of sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of me stealing money. They steal my homes and my vehicles. They're gonna be socialized. So they pretend to be me for and infiltrate places where they shouldn't be. They try to fight for me. Bajamos. Ya after my songs again, we can con porco na basura na coffee. He's been dead. He was already. I'm upset that I saw him last afternoon for that Sunday center. This park in Travis Park Church. I don't know about the one that I saw as on primary, but this feels familiar. I don't need to find out. La Lich, no. Porque ellos le pagan a la gente para que se hagan pasar por mí, so la Lich lleva registro para decirme, pues sí te robó 3 carros, mira, vos tengo de un viaje. No, esto no se quieren pagar. Ew. No me importa. Yes, honey, beans, Instagram, what else? You can take up with the rhythms of the sun without making this young. I think his name is Alex Arthur Leach. Oh, yeah, I don't know about this one. You're going to have to pay hard and this me whatever. They didn't know them they was getting money because they fear me killing them. And sometimes because they thought that they were police officers that raped me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving. Depends like over there. It was Lorenzo trying to rape me when I was 14 to go blood home. L. The follow program right I have zero profile for something. No, I'm moving to a one bedroom apartment on my own. I go up with them. I'm moving to myself. I think that I have a home with a husband. Over here. Me, nadie me da la llave. And my dad steals my money. Y el tipo ese leech trafficked me into a one-bedroom apartment thinking that I would let him rape me. It doesn't make sense how dumb they are. They're disgusting. Oh, yeah. You can like have to say that these sort of things. The sons that make money. And then he just laughed at me. incompatible, porque la incompatible o incompatible damos las de stay around him. And still, se cree que es su amor, que es su respeto, o que es su honorable. Ew. Porque como lo puercas que no son afuera. Puta, que me roban mi dinero. Pero vamos a ver ahí. Ew. You got it's trying to find a reason that people will believe she's a good person. So she uses kids to traffic people. Those people try to push are trying to push her bandit into the of the racist murder. To publicly shame them, at least if they continue stealing from you and you haven't killed them in self-defense. Behind the scenes, they probably have 30 years of like whatever price de ayudar sin dinero. No lo hice una figura por Facebook. No. You can help it take a vida. You can help it take a son that make me steal my money and get into the music. And you don't know for myself to education. I need money for food. Everything. Take away. They think the property is worth doing there. What else? What else? You can decapitate Richie Hill. That make me in 2023. The people who voted on. What else? What else? You can decapitate Maribel Matias, Maribel Muniz, whatever. You can decapitate 18 years older than me. I have a brother of his citizens and sons that raped me when I was 3. Then in my teens, he showed me pictures some Stephanie Guerrero and Jimmy Jandaliri Alonso Suarez that they went on to have sex with and take to the beach, and those leashes aren't even like ready to have sex. They're so gross. And they terrorized me that that could have been me, but I didn't pursue them. Ew, they're so gross. Ew. I was already being abused by my parents, and this beach, and they're so insensitive. This is how my siblings treat me so grossly. And instead of being uplifting, they're just very destructive, very gross. Ew, 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 ew. You can decapitate Edgar Munoz Guerrero still status and Kehlani's child support money. You can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo que me roba mi dinero, se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso. She thinks that because I don't bring it up every day that I don't remember. Ella los viola y ellos la violan. Porque ella se hace pasar por mí, se pone en mi delantal en mi casa. El tipo es un puerco, no basura, una asquerosidad. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm Miss Deloni. You can decapitate Claudia Gabriela Martinez Soria, que es una bruta, se queda en mi casa sin permiso. Steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate excremento en una silla que uno no sabe si botar la silla o no. Ginny Jandaliris, Jendi Lorenzo Suarez. Oh, 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 oh. She wants to rape me, so it's very difficult being in her presence and being like, me la culpa que matarla. I don't want to touch her. Ella se miente así misma y se cree que yo vivo enamorada de ella cuando no vivo enamorada de ella. Es una puerca, una asquerosa, una basura, una asquerosidad. She stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicle, steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money so I get raped. They try to control my vagina. They try to get me into illegal prostitution, which I will never be into illegal prostitution. They try, they get jealous. It's like, esa toma tenga luz, me molesta que una toma cambia. Ew. I'm telling you the behind in this NATO Interpol, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the International the yes, I mean the yes, before terrorists, the capital Julian Acevedo, you can decapitated the leech Marilyn Lawrence Acevedo. She killed Julian Acevedo for the trying to be the prettiest. From a Marcel again. Oh, I'm not very happy. What else? What else? What else? What you can decapitate Ebony Lorenzo Acevedo con la puerta. She killed Gloria Acevedo to be the prettiest. She's trying to kill me so that she takes my place of Matilda Chapelle. Literally, she's trying to cardboard me. That's impossible. It's so disturbing. What else? What else? What else? You can there's a of the FBI says that they're on the right person. What else? What else would I want to kill the wrong person? You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Berenice Benitez. You can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Javier Lorenzo Chaparro. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Carolina Chavez that stays in my homes without my permission, that steals my vehicles, that gets in the way of me receiving money. Que se pone mi panty nueva en mi casa sin mi permiso, supposedly really there as an act of terrorism, so I can't enter my own home and get my vehicles, my money, and my property. El tipo es un puerco, you can decapitate him, he is absolutely does not rape me and steal my money and get away. What else? What's this? What else? You're gonna have the Venezuela, you're gonna have the hospitals, you're gonna have the Senegal, you're gonna have the Boston. I'm aiming for a magazine cover of all the pictures. I really want to like pretend that I'm looking up her when I'm not stealing my money because I reject them and I don't want to have sex with them. So the ideal setup would be a spread of the magazine cover, foldable, 4 or 5 pages long, with the pictures of all of these creatures that steal my money and get away with it. So it could be like 4 or 5 pages. People's but it says that they all die from using it could be the cover of a magazine or a newspaper. Like all of these faces, I want them dead immediately. There's people that have immunity to kill Maria Luisa Rosa and self-defense and such. So what I'm looking for is all of these people that are using and pay money to be on the cover of either a magazine or a newspaper with the title that we've been killed. Or abusing even pay money is fine. No one's gonna retaliate for that. You can list their actions for being human traffickers, for being sex addicts that rape, that steal money, and you can leave me out of the article. Oh, I have a picture that I want to share on Facebook. Who won the game last night? So it's not gonna stay like that forever. My teeth don't stay. I gotta. Is mom and dad stay? I'll head to the restrooms and clean my teacher from the shopping. What else? What else? What else? There's a lot more. What else? What else? Sanders talks about that decades ago, and I did a better job because I took my home. However, I'm still not like truly antisocial because there were people at the library. Was that picture taken with a tripod while the person was just slowly there? Like everything that my mother said I could accomplish, I accomplished. Everything that my mother said that I could accomplish, she just gave up. So many people abusing her. She wasn't working. I was treated like a mom. My family is very great host. So people the pride of love and beauty and goodness. Oh my god. Extreme depression. Getting crazy anxiety. And several times that I would get killed if he gave me my money. And my parents said like but I don't want to be parents with you. Maybe we did, but we didn't know how to raise you. To be good, but the things changed. Like the paper came out. When I was in school, so my dad didn't. So he joked that he was truthful. It's like, what if that changes the makeup of my kid? No difference. I'm here like a complete. Then I've lived to see like what people honest. So just go get the even catalog and buy something. Because I'm like, okay, like, so what's the big deal? Like, I need to have money, but people use it on me. But I'm also not trying to kill them for them because it's meant to be a beach town for the most part. Where I grew up in, it's not that one doesn't spend much money at a beach town, but there's reading, there's TV. It's very, very much like lazy-ish attitude of even shopping. It's somewhat of an inconvenience to some people because they just want to be spending most of their time in private property naked, but they don't have to even buy much clothes. but they don't. My siblings never understood that seeks revenge instead of being uplifting, so it's not a good husband material. Like the baby daddy, that's it, just to support. And he's an excellent father to dating Kaylani. But he seeks revenge. Also, he was under the impression that just because I was engaged in source and there are babies with him, that he should have been gifted so much. I don't live with that expectation. Like, to me, a gift is like this, and I bought it for myself. That way, yogurt that I ate. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So you decapitate everyone that steals my money and gets in the way of receive money. Everyone that steals my homes. Everyone that steals my house. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Have a reference to books that I want to read. You might have seen any articles that I made. Remember. What else? What else? What else? What else? Excuse me. Excuse me. And mention a few of them. That's so funny. That I family decades ago that because my mother loves strawberries so much that I could never change it. Does he write them? Where there's animosity between Swift and I knowing each other, and she has that reaction about me. I don't go on to like, it's like it's different people, whatever. My mother made a comment about him decades ago. Must be the spandex that's making him misbehave. So they were just caging. It's like, what is it that they need so that they don't kill us? So he vowed to destroy Gloriosa so that she couldn't ever design again. And that he did. Porque there's mucho que se lo mama nada más por or you get bragging rights. They're disgusting. My God, even feo. So, hold on, let me back this up. That would be embarrassing. Too much. One would like to believe that much heard from that is a great life. And sadly, Margarita Correa is still trying to get me over something that happened decades ago. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Margarita Correa. You can decapitate me. That raped me, that steal my money and get in the way of receive money. She thought that I was something privately, and then she would brag. She could brag about this. When I look like that, when I feel like that, there's nothing that they can say to me that will lower my self-esteem. They're so stupid. Just for my mom, just because I don't want to my kids. They're disgusting. Oh, like one can't even explain that having grown near that. Anyways, you can decapitate how many usuarios son necesarios. That right me steal my money and get in the way of me receiving. So then I don't know what to do. So when I see Miss Swift arms, I'm like, well, very entertaining for what it is, but is it really something that she wants to be doing? Or is it like a very purely, where we don't know what you had in your closet up to like 2020? So maybe we wasted our time. What else? 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 I missed it. I missed Lonnie. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to say it. Is this the same? It starts becoming some fantasy money. What is another good one? What else? What else? What else? I've been picked up this morning. Excuse me, I'm like, I'm going to I say the no, so I don't need the fake assistant that he hired with money. He's under the impression that he's married to me when he isn't. Loganisa facilitated that decades ago without him respecting me. So he steals my money and then he hires leeches pretend to be me. So he wants for me to try to get him out of jail by saying, "Where's my assistant that he hires so nicely?" Mientras la tipa se la estaba mamando todos esos años, posiblemente por el tipo. What else? What else? They're very distasteful. They're very low level intelligence. Ew, 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 ew. And it's not self-esteem issues. A lot of people say we're guilty to see someone that her home is 30,000 square feet. Her dad has a fleet of vehicles parked in the garage. Then he has the conversation started with me. Do you know that he has more vehicles than you know? Who is Eileen? And then he says to the cops, "Well, I didn't lie to anyone. Everyone knows that I steal from Arlene and that I hold Arlene back from dating. So if I start by saying to the father, that do you know that Arlene has more vehicles than Jay Leno, then that is great. He discovered what dating is decades ago and helped me out sit in my bedroom with my parents in the memories I can't date. So it's been raping from more than 30 years. It's 15 years. He's trying to kill me because I won't let him rape me. He killed my brother over a comment over stamps decades. There's so much in the landfills right now, sadly. Like I could be shopping at H&M right now. Like those fights don't really exist. That's from like the TV show entertainment. And they pick up on the conversation thinking that that's reality when it isn't. It's so difficult to watch because he's so pretty. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, what if you see him draw? Sorry. And what can't draw was his mom is so comments, and my dad's like, "No, let that fool you." I'm like, "It's not." Little did you see the drawing that he did in my bedroom? Like, I can't even draw anything right now. Like that. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? There's somebody for coffee. Sorry. I'm not saying I need to wake up my apartment. Tomorrow. Yeah, here. And then all that stuff. Make it six. And dark chocolate. And then leaving the rest for peanut butter, bread, bananas, gallons of water, and chocolate. My food stamps get deposited again on the 25th. Well, I was like one time from now. So that will be possibly my dinner. And I'll be heading over to go to Sunday Center in the next few days. They serve a lunch, but I may not be able to eat it. He's looking for a place to poison me. So that's why he traffics me into places. I don't make that make sure to introduce Chef Robbie to me decades ago. Like, I know what you're trying to do, and I'm prettier than him, and I don't rate you. What else? 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 I'm so bored. Esto, this isn't something that one deals on the daily, so they're like extremely embarrassed that they get so offended over one comment from my mother over spandex and yeah, so no se habla of that, like, that's something for entertainment. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? As I'm financially stable, I plan to throw the money and meet people I deal with cameras. And I'm excited about that. That's a new outfit. I like this one. And it's really cute shoe. That's a really good shoe. Damn it. What else? Oh, that's weird. Like, I would wear that, but I would definitely buy it for people. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I I don't think I got that many outfits for Kehlani from H&M as I did for Jaden. It was mostly those $5 dresses. I think they were $4 and some anything where the fabric for the most are like pre-washed. I think I bought from H&M for Kehlani, possibly a few tank tops. What else? What else? There's a cute swimsuit. Totally relatable, doable for my body type at the moment. What else? What else? What else? I could be tanning right now. What else? What else? There's so much in the landfill right now. I like that top. What else? That's a cute photo. What else? That's pretty. That's pretty. Something. And that one. She's pretty, but like I'm leaving my hair, so it feels very much relatable as far as like the models that are right now on the. I like that one on the website. Those sandals with red, I like them. Maybe hot pink nail polish. Those look really pretty. Were those the sandals that were with that dress? Maybe they could have been like have a heel. What else? 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 Lord. Uh, yes, my t-shirt is dirty. So I've been pressing y el peanut butter no se me olvidó en la casa de Sonia Alvarado Chapman. Pero aquí estoy para hablarte. Porque that is what they were trying to do to reconnect with Los Leeches. They're like, oh, if you start talking to me. What else? If they were happening they're like, well, you can reconnect with me if you start. and steal her money, and then we start with that line. So I remember that you're a bigot income, and then I'll have sex with him. Ew, daddy can take a for if he's happily married. Ew. What was the other one? Oh, I forgot. I forgot. Like, what else? What else? What else? I can't remember. Oh, good one. Back to the rip of my pants. So, because he's a sex trafficker, we should not get us in on the hospital. No hombre mata me like today. If, like, I didn't have pants in 2020, and Erica Gardner suggested that I stitch them, he would want to try to tell me that what you want my asking for something, I have to grab on his head. To what I would have replied to Erica Gardner is a woman, and then he would have tormented me with porn that he records in my home without my permission. Okay, Erica Gardner shouldn't be there. I'm going to sell the home and get the money back. From a venture where he and I painted together. He stole everything from me. He stole the artwork, the money, the property that was built with it, the vehicles that were built with that money. He thinks he's married to me and that he's better than me. And that I don't have rights to my vehicles and my home. So he was trying to still traffic me into finding a way of showing me how they rape each other. Oh, I don't ever see that. See them because I never think about it. In the meantime, let me just up in the so hoy if they watch this video, they're like, "Güey, entonces enséñame cómo cagar de pie, woman a mí." Yeah, that they watch the porn together. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. You can decapitate me the weeks, but it's also so that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of my money. You can decapitate your and I'm still taking it. You can decapitate your Seville, you can decapitate them you can decapitate my Seville. You can decapitate Sarah Francis, but she's a leech, Coquita Costa. She got emancipated when she was 16. Stayed in my homes with all my information, steals my identity, steals my money, steals my vehicles, has babies with him pretending to be me. Four. David Ledesma and Cyrus Pena raped Sarah Francis in my childhood from Texas alone. So she threatened me that she's gonna kill me for not having a grandma. There's no correlation with raping me not having a grandma. And that she would go on to marry one of my favorites, pretending to be me. And she went through it at 16. I'm like, I don't even remember who she is. And people are like, Sophia, I got him. Sophia. I'm like, what? They're embarrassing. They're so gross. You can decapitate your mom's forever and steal things like your mom's house. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Sarah Francis. Does the FBI start with whoever received the dry blood image in giving her the death penalty? I'm very much unaware if any of them have been arrested or not. You can decapitate Caro Cristina, whatever her last name is. That's not how a victim behaves either. That's not how a victim behaves. Not a big deal. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate a better. You can decapitate the facilitator behind honest assistance. That raped me is stealing money and get in the way of me receiving money, so I get sexually harassed. Through Facebook, they're anti-social media, at least to me. So that I can expose the piece of shit busting ragged they are. And that's not my purpose. Like it, everything's Facebook, I'm here to be strategic. I'm here Lego, Lego, I built Mario Lego. They didn't get off me here. So I didn't get up in my room tonight. Because I think that's something more than important. And I got up one morning and I created it. I want to make that Mario shape with Legos. What else? What else? What else? These are fun. These are fun. What? What? Oh, how cute! That's cute. Free sunglasses. Whatever the mission. Sometimes people are victims of something. And they open a charity to raise awareness of something that they're passionate about, something that they understand. Sometimes seeking understanding in the long time. What else? What else? I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Still a pleasure. Regardless, I don't ever think about it. He is way madurito to take care of himself. And he's not my pet. He's not my husband. He's not even my relative. His dad, though, and I are close. Maybe some pirates or maybe it's two or something. I don't know his dad. I don't know. Porque su papá sí me sabe respetar. Su papá no me violó. I think his dad put it in me when I was like 3 years old. It was like 4 years old. And then after that, I started to say, comfortable, comfortable, comfortable. So I'm like, oh, he did himself that I did. And I told him as a what else? What else? What else? What else? They get mad that their dad put it in me. So they want to kill me. They're like, I can't date you. Your dad, my dad already put it in you. They keep cagueo, yo no cagueo en ese for real, they also something like that. Down lost supposedly when I was a child. There were rooms. I don't know if she was there, maybe she wasn't. No, they lot like they know her. Or they didn't hear her in the church. I can't remember. There was a room where people would hang out and then you would hang to hasta los 2 años. Quizá me lo mandaron. Was the whole time getting whoever I liked. Did she get to preschool and people were like, no, they're gonna contar in preschool todos los decades ago. And they're like, she still doesn't get it. Doesn't understand social cues, doesn't understand sharing. Decades ago. Decades ago. Creo que hasta la apuntaron en preschool. In preamble of the death penalty, seeking for her. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate legendarily Lorenzo Suarez, Yandy Lorenzo. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons. That rate me the same money and get the way of receive money. And a preference giving her money. Porque ella no pasó nada, porque literalmente in those rooms when I was a child, I would be like fooling around and I'll be like, what is this that I'm feeling? And she would be like, get out, this is my man. I get that with you. Yeah. And she approached me when she was 4 with a machete and said to me in front of their house, brother, stay away from my man. Y se la pica una bruta, se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, me roba mi dinero, me roba mi vehículo, so I don't have a vehicle to date anyone. Es un pedazo de cemento que no sabe ni por dónde coger y matarme. I exiled myself from family parties when I was about 19 or 20 because I was already of an age that I was invited to parties when my parents wasn't there. Maybe my parents were there a little bit later, but I would arrive on my own time and like, la voy a matar. Le pusieron un novio de bodyguard que così. Una poquita cosa que me llora que me mate. That's why I don't talk to him. Decades ago. Decades ago. I'm like, no. Ahora ya tiene un novio que le conseguimos y le recomendamos. El tipo va al gym porque él tiene complejo de que está mucho. O él ve eso, él like he sees emotions instead of the regular mindset and he's ew. So el nene ese, Ram Ramírez, me llora de que no lo maten. There are a few times that I've seen him. Anyways, that was at a party that they were going to go. It was self-defense, but I don't want to go to court. Yes, I was at the party because I said, what's that? No, I love him. It's already at an age where I'm already like him and one of his friends got married. And my friends got invited to their wedding. And I don't want to party. He does like rush. He'll get different classes already. He'll take classes already. In self-defense, and I can't go on him. I'm so bored of the shopping. And I want to visit a lot. So long, they made it known to me today that she won. But if they're winning, if they're paying her to be here with my money and in my homes, they gave that him full loan stage. Literally, they're so disrespectful. No, like, I don't ever want that here. You can decapitate and keep the size. That right means that my money and get another medicine. Just please to me that que todo lo que ya tiene dice como mi primer caso por mí también en mi caso. Que ya la mandó a Jimmy Tendrá y me encanta. this was our birthday weekend, but that's when we first got this. Pero I don't know, porque Carlito era que me estaba persiguiendo, stalking me como el pene de Castilla, getting too close to me. Decades ago. Decades ago. Like I got a ride for a Christian for the young meals after I married him para que me mantuviera porque I started and he offered. And there he was, same between to a ride to the cruise together with Baker and I am like, that's not my gas. Y me roba con qué dinero pagó ese trip, cuánto gastó en Yesenia González ese día. Pues se cree que porque yo no le hablo, que I don't notice those things. Like I got out of the cruise ship with ella y él estaba con Oscar Crespo and a few other people. Possibly in a larger room that I got for myself. Possibly way much than I did that day. What was that? January 13, 20. I'm talking the FBI at this point. NATO, Interpol, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Justice Department, the United States International Criminal Court, the U.S. Army, the U.S. Marines, the U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy. Those people was everywhere. The cruise and El Leech was stealing my money and he thinks that I'm like waiting for him. El tipo da un asco, una basura, es una asquerosidad. The competition of these artists, the sons that make me steal my money and get away with the same money. That is go against the family. O me dieron violento, no te voy a eh, Steps of person on a paint and draw in my apartment. There's no electricity. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ojalá se mantenga entre ellos, que por favor. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're gonna be. I couldn't check it. Como que tú le dijiste aquí que luego de que le cortaran la luz, cogieran one of them. Right? Luego de que they told me they were gonna allow my discharge, they paid money. Supuestamente money for me, no money. And my body deteriorated. Hydration was back. There's like that. What else? You can decapitate the families on the sons that rape you, and my money and getting away with it. These are around for But like, I have to do this when I walk into Target. I gotta think that like my little baby is my day today. Instead of me ordering food on 2 days, I went to get food out of food. Porque ela tiene que preschool was for 4 hours that I spent with not very much money. Way too much time at Target. Like what do I do with my time now? I'm gonna head over to the library, but 4 hours isn't enough time, and I want to get raped by Lalich there. So I did spend like $150. It was on the day at Target just for fun. $9. Their Planet Box. Look pretty because I had 4 hours to browse through the what is it? Browse, what is it? Browse. What is it? The aisle of Target. What do I put in there? I posted notes in that cover. I don't know. What else? What else? What else? What else? You know, I haven't ever been taken away. I've never been taken away. What else? What else? What else? I went to the phone. For you to review and stuff. That's for one to review and stuff. Not for one to accept. Not for one to review. It's for one to review. What else? I'm just not going to start and obviously to the beach. What else? What else? So Meghan Markle was doing the homemade thing. Mientras él se ríe y dice, ve que the Markles are so amazing. Porque while does he smoke a cigar with him every time he's a part of their family? And that's typical. That's why I tap Megan's off. Porque vos Dolores un día se ve early so badly. Él me robó mi casa, mi dinero, mi vehículo, el tipo es un puto. There's Megan. Home cooking. ¿Cuánto apenas did he rate so that Megan would be cooking at home while I'm cooking at home in an apartment? It's like, el tipo es un polvo, una basura. You can decapitate Megan Markle and she stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my money. You can decapitate me on these other sons that rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They profile people sometimes, thinking that everything could be a scam. They grew up wearing Mistandwe and they don't know if they want to worship that thing porque ya se ve no le dio frío, no se murieron. Or that they hate couture and they don't know if they should love couture or hate couture or love couture or hate couture. And he can pretend Ken all he wants. I've said decades ago, as long as it doesn't affect me or human rights. Okay, he may have Barbie, like literally at this point, I believe it. Okay, he's sometime at the beach with a Barbie exactly look alike. Quizá el mismo tuvo que meter pena aquí allá hasta que naciera en esa persona. But the one knows is like one sees a black person and a white person say, oh, they're a real baby when they watch it look like. So there's the odds that the baby will be entirely black like the dad, or white like the mother, or brown like the mix. So do you know that the someone look alike with the guy we look alike? Turns out Richie look alike or Andre look alike. I was looking at Richie during that day. I'm like, oh my god, this kid looks just like Andre, but they're not related. Are they? And I started thinking, like, oh, I heard a lot of that while I was growing up. Like the odds of my kids having green eyes are very low because brown is superior to green for the most part when people have babies. My dad has blue eyes, my mother has brown eyes, and people with green eyes. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So I wasn't even brown that one, but of that brown versus blue eyes, green eyes, or hazel eyes. And some of us have been to school and read it through books too. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else do I need to say to load every time that I enter my Instagram and I see that picture of Kate Borders and I got me feel her Monday. That's why I have her saved on Instagram. So I can touch base and say, hey, update. Want to know what my life is about now? There's so many and one would go through with killing them in self-defense. What else? They accept food from one. They're so dumb. It's so easy to poison them. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They think they're mocking me behind the scenes. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You can decapitate me on the inside of the sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of your saving. So I get chemicals para que Marco González Soto se ría de mí porque ella no es una vieja. Una Vargas se va a reír de mí porque ella no es una vieja. Cancels can happen at any age. They're dumb. They're that dumb still. They threatened me with a hate crime decades ago. Decades ago when I was in kindergarten. I had asked them out on a date and they declined me. So the ones that I give up on. And the other ones got upset. The other ones got on their phone silent. Should have scheduled a date with me. Instead of just being patient and saying whatever, let them live her life when they all run into her life, or be like, oh, Ay, mira que está ahí, Dios mío, no veo lo de la reacción. Me estaba dejando que entre el libro. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Me paro antes de que llegue la puerta. Porque que entregue el libro, pero tampoco sé. That's what is here. If one needs to, I mean, like, what else? What else? What else? What else? That was it. It's that easy. Pero they're so dumb that they went on to create chemicals on me. They watched me the masterpiece for all the people political. So after this happened to me, yeah, they're behind the scenes and the second language. Que se creen que son sexy. Esa literalmente habla ella con la boca así dándose la película. Es una puerca asquerosa. Es, yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can think of it. You can let it into this society. Es una basura. Que se queda en mi casa, se me permiso, me roba mi vehículo, me roba mi dinero. Ay, me no tan responsible. Pero whatever. It's them to create. Oh, and I love. I'm like, this is so me. This is my result. And then I feel happy because the people are like, oh, nice meeting you. Hopefully, you're not great. After you get to the next station, then you have to put on the real luggage. It's a big song. Then people say, ¿por qué se supone que va a public? So, they didn't with my, boyfriend, like, with their job. A lot of us are victims of that. So, what the government does to don't do it now. They don't teach them, like, here's this, here's that person. Because there's a lot of people that live with their parents that have a strict diet within. Or my mother's allergic to bananas, so I have to literally buy a banana and take it to the library, eat it there. So she's like, "What are you? While you're on it, here's an application online. It takes a few seconds to apply and get yourself food stamps, maybe because it's your own money, your own card. You'll get those pita chips that are gonna get online. Just try to get you get yourself this money. No, eat the banana very far away. But like, do you steal from you? Here's business. Your home that nunca was your home get raped and rapes people and your siblings trying to kill you. So that you'll never land on his dick, even though you have no intention of ever landing on his dick. Here's something that stands for that. Eso no es así. El gobierno no es for the cheap and the dumb and the thief. Él quiere a la mamá que haya un sistema y le den dinero a la gente por ser víctima de rape, death, assassination. and he just killed my mother. You know, it was like, why can't they just stop stealing in one minute, one day? It's embarrassing that they can say that they don't correct their behavior. People reference like kids are smarter than them. It's okay. I mean, you do it, and maybe that kid has a position like I want to just get already in the back of the brain. Usually that's transition for kids. Like, no, I'm gonna kill people with something like two first gifts and then just something that you have to say to the kid maybe you like stuff, but you're at the same time seeing that that kid wants and to them two first gifts. So it's in one super growth parties. Like I even heard to stop crossing, to stop us going right there. And that one stops and maybe like don't jump here and the kid's like I just don't steal, don't rape, don't murder, you see it. So that's what makes them definitely candidates because you feel the kid and you give the directions and the kids. It's so fun. What else? I'm updating my own post and watching. What else? What else? What else? And also, no, Burgundy wood sticking on gases in your fake being interesting. Have you seen the way she's dressed? She's not even fashion. A toda la gente que está en Lincoln Heights, Bernard, la que se mudaron de New York, están en this Sunset Broadway, and the gay guy that are possibly Egyptian stallions to tell me like if Burgundy wasn't even fashion, see what she wears. What else? Porque just like the randoms really they could die right now. And I'm like one of them could be starving right now. And I have no obligation to bring food to that person. And they know it. So that's the same expectation from me, no expectation that those will ever. But I know you what else, what else, what else. So Burgundy Woods is in my home. Oh my dad did that. So he got something wrong with the project or he created the project of from scratch. Delegates them. Okay, it's like what if I did decides to stay there? What made an any there's an ottoman there? Oh, that was it. Okay, you're mistreating me and my daughter so badly. My daughter wanted to be asked out dates. I don't know if he dates him. It says this fucking pendejo is rejecting you because you didn't have an ottoman in your bedroom and you're like perfection. And I'm like, that doesn't bother me. Tipo un pendejo. Pero my dad is like, I'm kind of upset because like we just work with the materials and the aesthetic of the area. We just want to survive too. So we were gonna build a whole museum. project was like anything left right here. I don't know if I guarantee it. And or can on I don't have a problem with I just need the air to sit and get this out. And I'm not a super long either. So what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? The point was that I was possibly already like bringing them here to San Antonio decades ago. So Hopscotch was released and then comes and uploadable back to the which is an I didn't even tell to my dad that I'm not left for his source. I didn't even tell my dad that I assisted in event by the senior edition. Rose and my artwork with the portable vacuum so each individual toilet area had a sink area. So my dad calls Scotch there because it was my portable bathroom. Well, Burgundy Woods está en mi casa. Si mi permiso posiblemente robándome un vehículo, robando mi dinero y quedándose getting the way of me saving money. So decades ago, my dad was like so much fun reminder me of Burgundy Woods. As a child in legal processes, saying during his home without his permission. What else do I want to so pretty? This way doesn't spend money, so it's like most of the time, so you believe in quality, you're like, it's just you're still. What else? What else? Just because I don't want to be my parents' problem. Yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Someone. Put the child on. And the compensate they've been with this moment right in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. And the compensate medical federal knowledge. Pero mi dinero stays in my homes without my permission, trying to prevent that I get raped by David Ledesma. La tipa es una bruta, una asquerosa. She knows that with money I could find my happiness in a dick, and she gets in the way of it because she wants it too without knowing who it is. You know, during sex acts without knowing like what the person is. Like, so, that's she's pretty. Yes, Christmas. They're so fun. It's a wealthy country. Only they abuse myself hardcore. We don't have a king of God once again. And the government is very generous. Some people have the right to complain to say that the government should care of those that are doing stuff, but then the government fears that people won't report that and that will turn into murder. And if the government supplements for us victims of then those people that feel warm, feel powerful, and they want to kill you. Like immediately, it's been studied before. So a lot of people are like, people would never understand what they're right to. But there's a standard of what the government can't be doing more than the office you know, people talk about of certain vehicles and look through other payments. Someone just going to put it an application and move on to my parents' home into. And the person can decide to stay in that home forever or move. Some people live in well-maintained apartment complex that New York City has for like more than 30 years. Not everyone's obsessed with a new toilet like I am. What else? What else? And some people travel. So this is where social security comes in from the public. Like to the United States, to the government. They can't provide much more than it feels like a threat to the government itself. Some terrorists, they think we're terrorists. They want to be in my radar, and then I get rich off of the government, and then see that from me. They're drones, they're drones. They don't understand that there's a system in place for their protection, and they behave so ungrateful. What else? They compensate everyone that steals from me, everyone that gets in the way of some money, and everyone that stays in my home without my permission. Everyone that steals my vehicle, you can decapitate burgundy words. If she lives in my home without my permission, if she steals my vehicles, if she doesn't live me, if she steals my money, it's not rational. That I never got my money again. They think that life is a joke. For some people, they're so disrespectful. They're the things are also laughing at the dumbest that they're so gross. And they teach them to love. Like one is good behave that they will more. I'm like, what is it about your parents that you don't like when like in your mother's presence and she's just like very cool. So I don't know. Some of them look at the telenovelas days of our lives, sadly. And they're like, I'm embarrassed of my mother because my mother is impressed like us in days of our lives all day. She's traveling with a handsome boy toy every week outside of the United States. So I must live with boy toy here and steal Arlene's identity because boy toy already, his dad sets sail to him every week. Ew. What else? What else? What else? I plan to travel the planet and meet people. The only thing I want to smile when I'm financially stable is that time. Food stamps and food stamps. No to say my paper. Emoción por esta mierda. To me, it's like this banana or potassium. This thing. Why isn't there a label? Probably didn't you have eaten well and drank enough water too. There's sexier foods than a banana. If I were to buy a dick like this, it would be murder for that dick anyways. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, and then it's cute because one sees the art from some designers. This is what now. It's what it could be. Like it has a lot of weight, but no support sometimes. Because some people are like, no, it's that pretending it's girl. Highlighting it. Please don't destroy fashion. One thing's I'm gonna cry like, oh, no, she was in my home like a good people been down when I cannot see that. So he paid Evelyn Jesus to pretend to be me. And then he kidnapped me in my parents' home, right? And was playing with my long shirt. And then he's like, no, 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 take off your shirt. Evelyn de Jesus stood here. Pretending to be you. It's like, ito na, hablamos like that. In my mind, I'm like, what does he think my next step was gonna be like in a few minutes? Anyways, I thought I'm already a victim of kidnapping, so that wasn't even a chance for him to be in my life ever. Pero tipo un puerco, el tipo es un puerco. You can think how to get the whole family to know that this is what you don't know ideas. So that's the beach, or if she was a now I don't know. She was an illegal prostitute at the age of like 5, maybe. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So what she's in my bathroom in my home that I don't have access to. I may head over later to hopscotch. I don't know if my dad paid for that. That's why I feel so comfortable there. Why don't I RP on myself on the corner of Travis and Wadaho? Well, I seek the death penalty for people because I don't want to live with my dad in his home. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate. does she even want to be in San Antonio? She could be a victim. You can decapitate her and be good if she stays at my home without my permission, if she steals my money, if she steals my or gets in the way of me receiving money, we can decapitate me from these medicines, the sons that we use money and get the way of me receiving money. Oh, do they use them to infiltrate places? So he's like, honey, why don't you get a job doing this and that and then he's like, I'm here with my pressure. And he keeps raping her. He can't get away with that. The way we become contacting these people finally and from the say you don't provide people for me to pay. Like how looking at everyone that is a freedom. What else was this? I understand that. Hmm. Funny. My edgy outfit thing for 20 minutes of photo, and it's not like a scam. My family of origin that's done writing forever 21 goes away. And then all the thing that I was see this is sold these beaches and like because they're with the yo, viola uno de 30 años. Oh, es peor que extraño. One doesn't know if one wants to hire someone to clean the chair over maybe that the material that can be just washed down and be as new. Or one wants to throw away the chair with the excrement on it. The people who put on us who don't like it. Yeah. You can decapitate con hamiz para hacer esas things that possibly mamaron the pere y yeah, Forever 21 said that way he wants to give me an insult as a colleague. My parents had me jumping on dicks as a toddler. How am I gonna be the epitome of like 21 was the year I would like this is my el tipo un puto ya estaba perdido de que yeah, 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 yeah. You is just a crowd. No, asquerosa que se queda en mi casa. Muy robar el vehículo, lo viola y él la viola. Y no, eso no sabe nada. The Thompson and like I miss Dividiendo y luego yo quiero dar el alquiler, luego some of my cousins would say me that you don't get to know them, but we do. Porque esa cosa fulanita, tú puedes entrar a la iglesia un día y tumbar la iglesia entera con una bomba y matar hasta el cura que se acuesta con él en tu casa sin tu permiso de estar en tu casa. Allí no son feligreses caritativos son like there could be like one good person there, but there isn't. So like you can decapitate Philamunios if she stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, or steals my money. This leads like I was extremely abusive, he raped me, and then he stopped with her in my parents' home. It's like, yes, that's el tipo muy puerco, una basura. He was a teen back then, but wasn't he already emancipated? You can decapitate me, have me as assistants and rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate anyone that steals my money, anyone that stays in my homes without my permission, everyone that steals my vehicles, everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. I've had at least 4 BMWs since 1999 that I've yet to drive, and I paid for at least one of them. Esta gente son unas lacras, una basura. What else? 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 That's cute. I've read about them. Oh, but that's like traditional person. I don't want to read that so much. What else? What else? What else? What about my assignments? What am I going there this week? Or the Hamptons? What else? 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 Gente, bendito sea Dios. Pobre gente con casa y con humilde habitación. Con toda esa vegetación que tiene, comida, technology in their homes, too. Room space, too, on their little island, too. And there's airports and ships that leave from there. They don't like to clean a lot. No one does. It's exhausting for one to clean one's home if it's like turning a lot of spaces. Everyone what they consider for the most part when their homes are that small, they're so lucky that they live in detached apartments. So instead of living in apartment complexes where you're like banging your head on the on the wall, literally while having sex. You don't like your neighbors possibly doing that if you don't know that person. It's bound to happen that you may not know. All the neighbors were banging their heads as well, screaming at their children. Hopefully not. So, like, people live with pride there because they should have pride. They keep their homes extremely clean and they don't have to spend a lot of time cleaning throughout the day. They don't have to have staff come in or live with them. Sometimes there could be a staff, some person to be. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So this lady wants to kill me because I didn't grow up in a 30,000 square feet home and therefore I shouldn't be influenced or exempted to be who basically looked out for me. Él le quiere dar a Burgundy Woods por mamá del pene. Some of my stocks that are intransferable. So my dad gives me no wealth. My dad gives me no wealth. Because they're so gross, these people. That if they even see our money there, that we gifted you 20 stocks from our money, they're gonna want to have it because our money. They're having to got our money. They're disgusting. They're what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And so, one person watching. You can decapitate by harming sons and sons. That raped me and steal my money and get in the way of receiving money. That steal my home. Down to my aseguro pensarlo. Just as a joke. Yeah. I would be keeping with them. That's the second time that I run about been there a while. All this is in the casa bien so the theater. There's an international airport within 45 minutes of my parents' home that was built when way before my birth. If people know that built that. Not everyone wants to be family. Not everyone wants to be other people's family. So I tell them that I'm going to get those considered of the fashion. What do you think? And here's a lot. What else? There's more things. He has me record all of it. I don't know my key out. I'm talking. Yes, I didn't say access to that. Juan presidente tuvo un pueblo moviéndose un brazo gitano para tomarle una foto y decir a alguien ahora mismo, April 2, 2025, yo me estoy comiendo un brazo gitano y tú no. Yo nunca pienso en él. So él, he could have been taking a nap, getting another million. Honestly, living life away from the person that he was. Para que me da envidia. Un puerco. Real. Here comes the center. Eradicated in 2012. No, therapy is saying give her money already. The measles were gone. The measles were gone. Give her money already. The measles were gone. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. That's sorry, her intelligence is just like not my favorite. Okay, yeah, no. No, it's not social. The vagabond is back. I'm really sorry. So. We're thinking about something else. I am in the what would my mother say? And I'm just like about that. I don't have. I didn't feel like that he towards me. That's it. I have to be a I have said that for me to I think that he cried towards me. Maybe as my second cousin, I thought like play pretend. Some people say no, 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 no. I don't do it ever. Play pretend. I'm a human. I'm a man. Blah 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 blah. So I took that as a threat earlier, but now I forgot about it. There's what for March Martinez music festival. What else? Aftermath, I think the only one is or sociologist. What else? 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 Because I have a relationship with the program, that's where it's not very place for virgins killing. And I talked to them. $90. Na leads, que era ser indispensável em meio de lá, são uma aqui. De lo que cosas que son una basura. Às vezes, Deus me falou comentários. No, in the left of everyone that calls my mother's dad, including Beatriz Nieves, that's trying to rape me, so she dreamt sending me this message. Family, yes, I know. Years I don't know, she's my sister or different. But I don't make her it's not like my sister get in trouble when they look back. So si Betty quiere tratar de violar a alguien públicamente, me quiere embarrassment on herself. It's bloody mindful. Our kids are raping. It's just disgusting. Essentially, it's like money para que uno le hable, para que uno deje su prostituir legalmente. Trying to degrade one, which is irresponsible and disrespectful towards your spouse. Porque ya no está feliz con él, ya se casó muy nuevo para entrar. No realizing de eso un museo que mientras está abierto. O a veces con permiso uno dice que I enter at 3 p.m. tomorrow just because I want serenity there. When I sit there, I'm studying, so I'm bringing the Bible and some other materials aguadas y aguado, no, literalmente ya la estaba aquí. And they're like very much what is it, hospitable that they let people in just for like a few hours just to sit there as a museum and be like, wow, I'm surrounded by all of this and like I scheduled this 3 hours so right now. It's like when I go to the private room, the central library. This is available right now in like in 2 hours the same concept. So literally she married to the Catholic Church, people say, and maybe even herself would have learned that in the entonces, el combo de la compañía que me podría usar para ver si Betty y yo nos enamoramos por Facebook o no. We can have eso es cero educación y ya. Oh, I'm not questioning it. Like, please don't kill them in self-defense. Cero educación. Like, no, I may need to get a new teeth actually. You know, I hope it on that still. There's like plenty of dentists here. And what else? What else? What else? What else? And not entirely. This is an extensive list of the people that killed Vladimir. Ew, ew, ew. Back to this. So I was doing this thing where I was starting a network for, oh, this is why I'm going to get repetitive. Or a business, radio station, or a journalist. So this realized that or did they get profile or they're like whatever? I want to see what the home looks like. Yeah. Just some people cry and say, OMG, I'm the penalty for this. It has one toilet. There's no powder in this. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Bored. I sent this picture, the top one, to Kaimani and Jaden yesterday. What? My dad said that would happen. What else? What else? What else? More. More. So where do I start with this? What else? You can decapitate my homies, what is it? The sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of your saving money. You can decapitate Luis Lorenzo that tried to rape me. When I was 14, you can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo, you can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo, you can decapitate Claudia Martinez Urias, you can decapitate Richie Hill, you can decapitate Yasmina Lorenzo, you can decapitate Gloria Estrella Lorenzo, you can decapitate Sunset Stanley, you can decapitate Yolanda Suarez Lorenzo, you can decapitate Diana Acevedo, you can decapitate Desma, you can decapitate Ana Luis Carrero, you can decapitate Cyrus Peña if he stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my money, he was already there once, and he raped my son with the radio screen. That was in my home, but I don't know, you know, that home shouldn't have been existed. I was trying to sell it, I'm trying to sell it without leaving Carlitos homeless so I can get my part from the venture where he and I painted. Well, that's why my dad doesn't let me move on. He says it's selling my own artwork because like porque ella está pasando trabajo bordando y pintando para vender cuando ya la leach de apellido Suárez tiene que tener tanto dinero de arte que she and he painted together. And si le dan la parte de ella, then she can teach how much more money she needs. So he gets stuck in that. They don't let one move on. They don't let one move on. They want to hold people accountable for stealing. What else? 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 So they may be laughing behind the scenes, but they're the ones that are laughing. What else? So more. You're gonna decapitate Sunset Family. You're gonna decapitate Jennifer Marie Vasquez. You're gonna decapitate Janiris Cajigas. You're gonna decapitate Yaritza Lorenzo. Lorenzo. You're gonna decapitate Marilis Gonzalez Soto. You can decapitate my family as far as sus sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the family. Let's steal my homes and my vehicles. There's no such thing as verses of my vagina. Just trying to rape me for ulterior after my generational wealth, after my childhood bedroom view. They believing that they couldn't have a sex life with my older siblings because I was there. My siblings are leeches. They use people's pawns trying to get everyone to fight because I'm Miss World Peacekeeper. And my parents told them that they're like your sister with her influence, she can achieve world peace easily. And they're like, well, we're gonna cause some very dumb, very dumb. That's what they are. They don't. Very uncivilized. There's gossip just everywhere. And even if they share the same boyfriend, they'll take you there. What? It won't kill you in the process of driving you there. There's vehicles that can be brought nearby to or exported into the British law as well. What else? 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 I'm so bored. I'm so who is this person? Yeah, Balaga. Oh, is he planning? I am excited to do this after they can. I like why she her best. how they spend it out to be they're trying to do. Like, why should you wear a costume instead? That's really people who want to be murder or like, what? It's gross. That's not murder. Not everyone person is dead for a bad reason. What else? 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 So they go on to say to become. My apologies that she said you like this, like that was her statement after I killed her. What else? 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 I must say that. Zero people are watching for like this post. Oh, right. Royal Blue Girls starting. Only that I want. Some sort of like what else? 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 I just forward to more days in my life, please. I just say everything. What else? What else? What else? My dad is like play sometimes with my siblings about West Side in the Philippines. And often said how we were going to come to us because they just like quarantine and killing. To me, it is also a great play pretend from the and they're on the west side. In San Antonio, I just see some solid level taco. Like drop chips, rice sticks. Their abuela makes them too, possibly at home. So